Lviv. For most people, this city is the scent of coffee, chocolate, and sweet pastries. Tourists come here to take selfies in front of the Opera House and wander through Rynok Square. Pause, but there is another Lviv. The one that wakes up when night falls, and a thick fog covers the old cobblestones. Lviv is a city of the dead, a city of alchemists, and curses that have lived here for centuries. Beneath our feet flows a mighty river where bodies were once dumped, and the walls of old stone houses remember the screams of the torture. Local guides don't like taking tourists into certain courtyards after sunset. Why? Because they know, some legends are not just fairy tales. Today, we will descend into the darkness. I will tell you 5 mystical stories of Lviv that will make your blood run cold. Stories about ghosts that still roam the corridors of power, about trains that go nowhere, and deals with the devil. Make yourself comfortable, but I would advise you to keep the lights on. Let's start with the heart of the city, the Lviv City Hall. During the day, it is full of life, officials working, tourists running around. But at night, this place changes. There is a legend passed down by the night watchman for centuries. The legend of the Black Coffin. They say that centuries ago, when corruption flourished in Lviv and courts delivered verdicts not by law but by money, something terrible appeared. One night, a black coffin began to float through the corridors of the city hall. It moved silently, never touching the floor. On its lid, an inscription glowed in Latin, Memento Mori, remember death. It was a sign for dishonest judges. The legend tells of one official who sentenced an innocent man to death for a bribe. The night before the execution, that very coffin flew into his office. In the morning, he was found dead at his desk. His face was twisted in terror, and on his neck were the marks of invisible hands. Since then, they say that when an unjust decision is being prepared in the city hall, the old floorboards begin to creak, and the sound of wood rubbing against stone echoes in the empty halls. Staff who stay late admit, sometimes it feels like someone is watching you from a dark corner. Everyone admires the beauty of the Lviv Opera House. But did you know that this theater stands literally on water? Beneath its foundation, in dark concrete shackles, flows the Volga River. And it never forgave the city for burying it alive. At the end of the 19th century, architect Zygmunt Gorgolewski proposed a crazy plan, to drive the river underground and build a theater right on top of it. People told him, "You are building on a swamp, this is a cursed place." But he didn't listen. The theater opened in 1900. It was a triumph. But a year later, the walls began to crack. The foundation started to sink. The water was washing away the supports. Gorgolewski, who had put his soul into this theater, began to lose his mind. He hallucinated voices of the river, promising to take him down into the abyss. In 1903, he died suddenly. Officially, from heart failure. But rumors spread through the city. He took his own life because he couldn't bear to see his creation crumble. They say the architect's spirit is still there. In the basements of the theater, where the rushing water can be heard, technical staff sometimes see the silhouette of a man in a tailcoat, inspecting the walls and roofing. And the Volga itself sometimes rises, reminding Lviv, what is hidden underground will sooner or later break free. Now, let's move to the Jesuit Cathedral. This is a place of power and a place of eternal imprisonment. If you go down into its dungeons, you can see a massive stone sarcophagus. It belongs to Bishop Mykola Vyzhytsky. But take a close look, the lid of the sarcophagus is broken. Emphasis, and the hole is smashed from the inside. The legend says that Vyzhytsky was not just a priest. He craved power so much that he made a deal with dark forces. When he died, he was buried in the dungeon, but his soul found no peace. A few days after the funeral, the monks heard a terrible crash. When they went down, they saw the coffin was shattered, and the body was gone. Instead of the body, a ghost appeared, the Black Monk. He has been wandering these dungeons for centuries. No one has seen his face, it is always hidden under a hood. Meeting him doesn't promise death, but it brings misfortune. Students who once tried to explore these basements said they felt an icy touch on their shoulders, after which their lives went downhill. And they say there are doors in these tunnels that lead to nowhere. And the Black Monk guards them. The Lviv railway station is a gateway to the world. Thousands of people, noise, train whistles. But there is one train that is not on the schedule. And God forbid you witness its arrival. This story began in 1861, when the first train arrived in Lviv. But the legend tells of another train that appeared out of the fog exactly at midnight, years later. It was completely silent. The wheels didn't clatter, the steam didn't hiss. It stopped at the first platform. The carriage doors opened, but no one came out. Inside, a dim, greenish light burned. One of the railway workers, who dared to get closer, saw faces in the windows, but they were faces from the past century, pale and motionless. A minute later, the train moved and dissolved into the air, leaving behind only the smell of sulfur and rotting leaves. This train is called the Flying Lvivian. They say it appears before major disasters. It collects the souls of those who missed their train in life. So, if you are standing on the platform at night and see a train without a number, emphasis, do not get on it. This is just a small fraction of the darkness that Lviv hides. We haven't mentioned the execution hill, where the ground is soaked in the blood of criminals, or the haunted house on Zelina Street, or the yard of lost toys, where time seems to have stopped. Lviv knows how to keep its secrets. You can live here all your life and notice nothing strange. But one day, walking home through a narrow street, you will hear footsteps behind you when no one is around. Or you will see a shadow that belongs to no human. Don't be afraid. It's just Lviv saying hello. Thank you for walking this path with me. If you want to know more about the dark history of Ukraine, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and tell me in the comments, what legend have you heard about your city? Maybe the next video will be about it. See you in the dark.